What's up, guys? Welcome back to another HERR Lounge podcast. I had such a great weekend. So before we get started and get into it, this podcast is brought to you by HERR Apparel. New merch dropping Black Friday, guys. So stay on it, and it's for sure dropping Black Friday. So awesome. I know for that. And also, if you're a Patreon and wondering where your October box is already on the way, so if you haven't received it,
blame UPS.
Yeah,
USPS.
They're taking forever too. I had someone who was excited about her merch. She DM'd me, and then she's like, "Oh my god, I finally got it! I'm so happy." And I was like, "You finally got it? Wait a minute!" And her name seemed familiar because we had been going back and forth. She was asking about the sizing, so I was like, I fucking sent this shit almost 2 weeks ago, and she's just now getting it. She goes, well, I don't know how long it's been there, but I just went to go check my mail. So I'm like, how long is it really taking right now to deliver stuff? I'm curious.
Funny you ask, and I'll let you get back into your commercial after this. But if you're sending something via USPS right now, the typical 2 to 3 days is about 7 to 10 for a lot of people.
That's
just
why.
So you know. Yeah.
Makes total sense then. Because... man, I was really like blown away that she told me she had just gotten her package. I was like, I sent that off like a long time ago, but I was like, whatever. She got it. So that's what was important. But, and your November box will be sent out November 15th. If you're wondering why, I'm giving Marissa, if she's listening, some time to make her products. And guys, she's been on maternity leave, and, she's just now, man, that girl's a soldier. I hung out with her this weekend, which I'll talk about. She's up, and I was not that mobile when like she was. She's a soldier, bro.
She's had a few C-sections, right?
Her last two, but still, man, a C-section is a C-section. That girl's a boss. But anyway, so new apparel dropping Black Friday. So you guys stay alert. I will start teasing y'all a little bit before, so you'll get to see what's coming out.
Nice.
It is mom related. So for my ladies that are not moms, don't worry. I got something coming for you guys too. I'm bringing back, I did a little poll a while back of like items that people would want back. Those will also be coming, become available on Black Friday. So if you're looking for Christmas gifts and so forth, a lot of the hoodies and stuff that we had that are sold out right now will be back in stock. So just kind of be on the lookout for that. And then don't forget, guys, we have Patreon, and you can go and join our HERR community. I post different things that I'm into, just posted about the tennis shoes that I really dig and what I'm into for working out and so forth. So, that's been posted on there. And we started our Facebook group. And Marissa invited a bunch of people. And they're not part of it. So I don't know how I'm going to go in there and start removing
We're going to clean
folks.
it up. Don't worry. Clean it up. It's only for the patrons.
So that it's just patrons. That's like 40 people. Did 40 patrons just join me? And I didn't know. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was so confused. And she told me, shit, and I had told her, I said, I think I can only approve them, but I guess I didn't have that setting.
Oh, because I tried to go in there and I had to submit approval. Did you approve me?
I did approve you.
Sweet.
But it said that I think there's a setting, if I'm not mistaken, where it still has, you can't invite someone. No. I would still have to approve them.
Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
I know, but it didn't do that for Marissa.
And Marissa, what kind of black magic are you working with, man?
Marissa is working it. So.
And remember also the Patreon, the main thing about it too, on top of the community and the extra posts and content that Marisol puts together, is that you get the bonus podcast on Fridays. So this one's on Wednesdays for free, and then you get another hour and some change, sometimes more, on Fridays.
And it'll be more exclusive things. We've got my trainer lined up to be on the Patreon as well, to kind of talk about conditioning and so forth. And then I'm hoping to have Ilse on, because it seems like a lot of the patrona categories are business owners. And I thought it'd be a great idea for Ilse to come on, who is the person that helps me with my content, to come on and kind of talk about the importance of creating content for your business and how to get started. And, hopefully she can give consultations to folks. Maybe we can work out something where she gives a promo code for, if you wanted to. And she hasn't done them in a while. And I told her, I said, you need to do one. I took one of her first things that I took was an online course. It was like a Zoom course, super basic. But if you're someone who's just kind of like, okay, you're so overwhelmed by all the things that social media offers you, she breaks it down so easy to where you're like, oh, I can do this,
Yeah.
you know? And that's kind of what kicked me off with her, where I was like, I mean, I was already trying to figure it out. I told you I'll go.
Oh, I remember. You're trying to do everything.
Yeah. So it was like when I never forget when it was during the pandemic and I interviewed her, and I'm just like listening the whole time, like, couldn't wait till we got off the Zoom interview
to get to
so
work?
that I can talk to her. Yeah. I was like, okay. And it was funny because I'm like, when we're doing my consultation, I'm going like this to her. I'm like, this is me trying to create my own thing. Everything that I read on Pinterest, like hashtags, all this and that. Because I was trying to do her job for myself and for all my stuff, and it was just not working out.
Yeah, so for those patronas that have like a business or something you want to promote, a part of you being a part of that tier is that you also get to put that in the description. So if you have something, I think the only one so far is the church.
Susan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the charcuterie boards?
No.
Or was that Christy?
Christy's, I don't know if she started it yet. Did she start her?
Maybe, I think so. Yeah, I want to say that she had reached out to me. So there might be one or two of them in there, but there's like a dozen of you guys.
Yeah.
So reach out if you have something that's ready to be promoted.
Yeah, and that will be your business name instead of your...
Just your name. Or your @, like for Instagram.
Either one of those. And because I had such a great weekend, I kind of wanted to go into this mindset, right? Just because last week I was telling you guys how I felt very inspired. So mindset, it's all about mindset. From the moment you wake up to the moment you rest your head at night, everything is up to you. Your emotions, your thoughts, your perception, your reactions, every moment. Mindset. So I think your mindset, and it's true because, I took a trip this weekend to Waco's, just a day. It was that's all it was. And, if you've got children, and maybe for some folks it's not important to them, and I totally agree. Like I'm not knocking you if you don't feel this way, but for me, it was really important for me and my husband to continue to stay connected, right? Mm-hmm. Because he and I were so connected prior to kids. Even though we had Mickey was older already when I came into her life, so I didn't have the baby experience, if that makes sense. So I came in when she was 5, so life was already pretty smooth,
Totally.
So all I had to do was get up, get her ready for school, make breakfast, whatever it was, and she went on her way, and he would drop her off. I would get up and he would. Now I don't do that, but so that's kind of how it was, right? So I never experienced having babies, and I never felt like there was any disconnect between us because she also didn't live with us full time. It's every other week. So, it was kind of like, it was easy still for me.
Yeah.
Penny came into the picture, right? We had Penny, and I felt like we were still pretty good, right? Because our business was also not questionable. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Everything was kind of, even though we were busy, even though there was a lot to do, everything still ran smooth. There was pretty much a routine, right? So I didn't feel out of it. I still felt like I had time with my husband. I think maybe it's your first, so you kind of like are so trying to figure it out together. It had been his first after 10 years, basically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had forgotten what having a baby was like because it'd been so long for him.
I'm sure he quickly remembered.
Yeah. So, so I think for both of us, it wasn't an issue with when Penny was born. I think when Soleil was born, there's so much more now because now my brand has picked up more. You know what I'm saying? We've got podcasts now, which we had when Penny was just born, but it wasn't like consistent the way we are now, and then, now with work, we just, with everything happening, you don't know what direction entertainment is going. So you're having to sit here and figure out what it is that we're going to do that's going to be the permanent cash cow. You know what I'm saying? So all those things. And then you have a newborn on top of that. And then for the last 10 months, you and your husband were just still kind of like, there's not that much bond. I mean, there's this big ass stomach between y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or you can only, I know this is TMI, but there's only one way, and we all know which way it is. You know what I'm saying? When you're pregnant. So it's kind of like, you miss your spouse, or at least I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking for myself. Let me just say that, right? So there's a lot of, I'm human and he's human. And even though we're both adults and we know we've got adult shit to do, I mean, you've got to miss each other's touch. I don't know anybody that just doesn't want their husband to,
I've heard stories of some women that just
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they just can't get back into it, and I don't want to.
And they can't stand them either.
Yeah.
And it has in there. I've read stories, okay, on blogs that I follow and so forth, where women are struggling to get connected with their husband again after having a baby. The only thing they feel connected to is their baby.
Kid, yeah.
Yes.
Super common, actually.
I didn't know that, Rob, because I didn't experience that at all with
That is
Penny.
so good because it's such a divide between relationships, like marriages, when that happens.
I feel that with Sunny, I was starting to feel resentment, like where I was like, resentment towards motherhood, if that makes sense. Like, not towards my children or anything, but it was resentment towards motherhood. Like, why is it such a responsibility? You know what I'm saying? It's like I have to, it's like I feel like I have to give up something to gain something. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that life though?
Yeah, I know. But it was kind of like, I've got to find the balance between this. Like, I'm pretty good at being, what is that, type A personality when it comes to staying organized and getting things done, but I just felt like I still had not figured out my routine, and baby's just turned 3 months old on the 1st. You know what I'm saying? So today, when we're recording this, but
oh really? Today's 3 months.
Today's 3 months.
Oh,
so she's 3 months old.
Oh, it's the first. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of felt like I still was not having I still don't have a permanent, routine. And I think it's because I didn't know that a baby was not supposed to get on a sleeping schedule so early on. I started Penny at a month old.
I had a friend that just told me that they did the exact same thing. They started super early.
So that's what I did. So I think that's why I didn't know any better. But they say you're not supposed to kind of, even my pediatrician said it's encouraged to start at 4 months. Right now, because they're so needy, they still need so
sense.
much of you. 4 months is is realistic. And I was like, what? When she told me that, I was like, do I tell on myself here? Because I totally put Penny after a month. She was a month old and I started her little ass on a schedule and we were good. Like, I was sleeping. I mean, obviously I'd get up to feed her. You know what I'm saying?
You would think the earlier the better, right?
Yes. So Penny's, Sunny's got a pretty good schedule. It's just that waking up at midnight that she does, and she wants to play for 30 to 45 minutes and then she's out. But that little 45 minutes messes up my sleep. Because then she doesn't get up again until 6:45.
That's also very
and
lucky.
then I feed her, and then she doesn't get up until about almost 9 a.m. And that's not common for babies, So she's good for the most part. It's just that 12 a.m. that I just can't get over this hump. So we're following the schedule that I have as far as for sleep training is concerned. We're following it. It's that midnight thing. So my feeding that happens between 10, you're supposed to do what's called a, okay, why did I just forget it? I just had to, wow, that was
tough
weird.
workout.
Yeah.
You had a Sleepy Joe moment right now. You literally looked into the distance like, what day is it?
I just literally had it in the tip of my tongue and I just, okay, whatever. So anyway, so breastfeeding, the schedule can be a little bit different for breastfeeders and then for formula feeders. And the reason why is formula feeders will kind of stay asleep a little bit longer just because there's more oomph, I guess, in the formula versus, it's so much more natural when it's breast milk. It runs right through them. So they're up a little bit more. So that feed that I'm giving her between 10 and 11, right, is not holding her off. So then that's why she's getting up again at midnight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just if I can feed her myself, I try to do it myself. When she's getting mad because there's not much coming out, that's when I go get the bottle because I know that she's getting mad because ain't shit coming out. But like I said, I don't produce a lot. So I give her what I can and then I supplement. So anyway, this weekend, it was only a day, guys. Literally, we left Thursday afternoon. We drove together. It was listening to podcasts together, having adult conversations about the podcast that we were listening to, right? We get there. We even did some content at this cute Airbnb that I rented, right? We took pictures like that I needed for my content. And then the next morning we got up, we took more pictures, before we took off. We went and we were going to have breakfast at Magnolia Table, but I am not down to sit and wait for an hour, 15 minutes. I want to eat right now. So we ate at Rudy's.
They're good barbecue.
It's good. Guys, I'm from Texas, and I know this sounds crazy. I have to be in the mood for barbecue. I'm not like, yes, let's go have barbecue. And I think it's because the smoked part of it gives me heartburn. So it has to be smoked the right way. And I think I've said this before on the podcast, and I'm not just saying this because it's Pete's nephew.
Yeah.
But his barbecue is the only barbecue that I ever have that never gives me heartburn.
Okay.
I almost want to ask him, like, how do you cook it? Because your stuff doesn't get me heartburn.
So we'll get back to the Magnolia Farms here in a second. All right. Remember, you took pictures, and then before breakfast, you went to Rudy's, or after, before breakfast. We got a smoker over the weekend. So Don and I celebrated our anniversary, right? And that was kind of like, instead of doing gifts for each other, we always get like a gift for the house. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was the gift this year, was like, let's just invest in, because she loves to grill and cook, and I want to do more on a pellet grill because it's just more convenient than a conventional grill, charcoal grill and shit. So we got it on Saturday, dude, and we got home an hour before the Astros game, and we continued to just grill and smoke for the next 7 hours.
Wow.
And this wasn't even for the meal prep stuff. It was just for us. We put chickens and breasts and thighs, just testing different seasonings and different temperatures and different glazes and different. So I'm going to bring you some, because I'm going to be smoking some stuff, and I want you to give me your honest opinion.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Because I will have to tell you, because it'll be like I'm fucked the next day.
That? Yeah. Just like that?
It's something about the smoke, and I really think it's the chips, like maybe the kind that you get, because there's applewood and there's all different. So I don't know if it's the wood chips or what.
Well, it'll be interesting because I'm going to be using pellet. So it's a pellet grill. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So that might be different. So I don't know if that's the case, or if it's sometimes maybe the grill is dirty plus the wood, and then that's
maybe.
I don't know, but it always gives me heartburn. So I think about it before I eat barbecue. I'm always like, do I feel like having heartburn after?
Do you take something like some Tums, like an old lady?
I don't. I just like, I just don't. I just, and it's not like, oh my God, but it's like, this is uncomfortable type of thing. So we went and had Rudy's already. By that time, it was already 11. So it was like, it's pretty much lunchtime. So I was like, fine. We had that. And then we went straight to Magnolia. And it's really cool, guys. If you've never been to Celebration, if you guys get the kids like right after Thanksgiving, let's go to Waco. Okay. Because they're doing the lights.
Oh,
so
Christmas
and they
lights.
have it for a while. So it's like November 26th through like December, for a long time. So anytime you guys have them during that time, let's take a trip out there.
Let's plan it.
Yeah. And because I think it's really cool, because literally, I don't know, guys, I'm not saying that it's not possible for some weirdo to come in there and do some things to people, but the kids are just running around. Parents are sitting on just like the yard, and you're listening to this live music, right? It's reasonable. It's only from 9:30 to 6 p.m. So, it's like reasonable adult entertainment.
Stuff
yeah,
going
exactly.
On.
So it's like, because I thought the concerts were happening at night, the music part of it. So I told Pete, I was like, so let's leave in the afternoon. We'll just make it to Magnolia on Thursday for the music part. And then tomorrow we'll wake up and we'll do the shopping part. It's done at 6. So it was like, we missed it because we got into town at 6,
right.
So I was like, okay, well, there goes that idea. I thought it went on to like 11, but it makes sense. They're a family. They have, they probably do structure their business based on their family's needs, like schedule, and they probably think about the other people there who don't want to be there probably till midnight working. I don't know. I'm just assuming, right? So, and you're just kind of sitting there. We sat there for a while, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of like listened to music. It was early. I mean, it was only like 1 o'clock.
This was Friday, right?
This was Friday. And, people are just walking around. They've got their dogs. I mean, you just really can just sit there and let your kids run and do whatever they want. And then it's like they're there. I don't know where they could go. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just kind of felt like, oh, I'm ready to come back, The really cool thing is, so they have their own permanent stores that sit on the Magnolia property, right? But then for the celebration, they bring other vendors in. I don't know how you like apply to be a vendor, but every shop that was there was super cute and unique, which obviously that's what Chip and Joanne, or Joanne Gaines at least, however she curates, it was her curation for sure, because every shop there was really cute. I don't know if they like make you have a certain aesthetic look, but they all kind of were pretty like the same vibe, you know? And it was really cool. I'm going to tell you something. It was really cool because you saw these, you know, these vendors who probably needed this push, if not already were. Well, there's one brand that was there. They're a mom and like daughter type brand, and they're dresses. And then it's like matching, what do you call it? Like little patterns. And they were there, but they're pretty popular on Instagram, and I'll try to find it.
So is this like a pop-up or like boutiques that are there all the time?
No, these are pop-ups. So these are vendors that they just pretty much hired for the celebration, which is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so then they're just set up outside of Magnolia. So when you come in, it's blocked off, like they've blocked off like a whole, like the whole roads, like, you know, like it's a festival pretty much. And they're, oh my God.
Who is it?
Pete.
Oh. Let me know if you need to answer. I'll pause it.
Okay. Let me just tell him.
Remember, everybody, patreon.com/HERR Lounge Podcast for the latest and premium episodes from Marisol. Join the HERR Lounge community and also the newsletter at marisolherrera.com.
Okay. And then, so you went there and every shop was cute. So they had a few kid vendors, t-shirt vendors, somebody that was just did things for Texas that were Texas related, jewelry, really cute jewelry, plants, which I didn't know the plant vendor that was there is actually Joanne's sister.
Wow, we need to make friends with her.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, what's up, sis? Do you know her name?
Fernie's is the business. I don't know her name, but she had
Fern. Hey, Fern.
Her plants were there. And I thought it was still crazy that even though it's her sister, she doesn't have a shop on Magnolia. She was a vendor.
Ain't no discount. That's real estate.
Right?
Is high.
I'm like, okay. So, I saw really cool stuff there. Of course, you know, guys, when I tell y'all my legit thing for me, I love clothes, right? I love clothes, but my jams, like for real, are accessories, shoes, purses, and jewelry. That's 100% my jam. Clothes, I mean, it's great, you know, but for me, it's the items that'll never make you feel fat. They never make you feel like I can't wear this. Think about it. Accessories never make, if anything, they glam up anything you put on. So if you wear a cool shoe with, you know, an okay outfit, that shoe just made that outfit, you know?
That's a solid point.
Jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Like if you wear whatever jewelry, your outfit is super plain, but you add a big statement piece, I mean, that's it. Your outfit just went from basic to like, shit, that's pretty fire.
That's why I used to love watches. Like a big fat face on a watch that looked really cool.
Yeah.
It kind of did the same thing. But then Apple Watches came out and I'm like, I can't have anything else.
I sold all my watches on Poshmark after I got the Apple Watch. Of course. Except my Rolex, which I never even wear because it's silver.
It's just a collector at this point. You're just gonna let it.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. But
I can't get another. I want to just for the accessory fashion reason, but I can't justify buying another expensive watch.
So I want one. There's another one that I want. It's almost too grand, and I can't get myself to do it. Same thing with my birthday. I wanted a new bag, and Pete said, well, you know, if that's what you want, go ahead. And I just said, you know what? Let's just go to Waco for the weekend instead of me going to get a new bag. It's been 3 years. This is really what I wanted as my birthday. I also get my fake hair on my birthday because it's so expensive. I usually only buy myself, like for me, expensive stuff on my birthday. Like I feel like I justify it because it's my birthday versus any other day. It's always like, should I buy it? No, I really shouldn't buy it. I could do something else with that money. That's always me.
So let's get a little personal here. What's the last expensive thing to you? You don't say how much it was, but what was the last expensive thing to you that you bought for yourself? Was it your hair?
No, my hair is 3 years old.
Oh, shit.
No, that's the last time I got new hair.
Okay, so...
And then the last time I got a new bag was 3 years ago, too.
Wow.
Because the fanny, remember I told the whole story about the fanny pack? Yeah. That's the last bag I got. So I haven't gotten anything like...
That mom life, man. Yeah. Responsible mom life.
I know. And trust me, like, and my husband's really good about never saying no or why or doesn't question it. But I do like to be on the same page. I will say, hey, I'd like to make a big purchase.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, and he's doesn't like ever say anything. It's me. I'll walk out I think didn't I say this on the podcast or no? Maybe I just told Pete. So the other day I've been wanting black red bottoms, right? The ones that I have are the shiny kind, and I want just the ones that are not shiny. They're so just regular leather black looking ones, okay. Right? And black shoes I wear a lot. So, I wanted a pair. So I told Pete, I said, hey, I was going to go buy him stuff to wear for his shows. So I only go to the Galleria when it's time to buy him stuff for the shows, right? And so...
By the way, Irvine, California, tonight, the night that this episode drops.
So if you're in California, guys, make it out there if you haven't bought your tickets yet. So this drops early in the morning. You'll still have time to get your tickets. So, and then we're in Houston. So if you listen and you're in Houston, guys, we're here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get your tickets before they sell out. And I know Canelo's fighting Saturday, guys, but...
He's going to win. Just go to the show.
Just go to the show. Exactly. So I go and I'm like, I told him, I said, hey, so I'm probably going to get the red black bottoms today when I go to the mall. He just said, okay. He just gave me the thumbs up, like, fine. So I'm going, and then I see the line, because there's still a line to go into these stores at the Galleria, guys. They don't let you go in.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah.
And then instead, I go to Steve Madden, and I said, I was about to spend a lot of money, and I just took like 4 pairs of shoes for the amount of money, less still than what I was going to spend on these tennis shoes. I mean, on these high heels. I felt like I walked out as a winner. Like, yes, this is great. I was like, man, I got a good deal. It's not a deal. You just didn't spend what you were. Yeah, I just spit all over this mic.
Dude, that is only your microphone.
Shit, thank God. So I just felt like I didn't spend what I was going to spend. So when I talked to Pete, I was like, well, I didn't buy my shoes. He's like, what? He's like, why do you always do that? Why do you text me and say you're going to do something and then you don't do it? I'm like, I know. I get there and I start feeling guilty. I said, and then I see the lines and that really discourages me. I was like, I can't stand sitting in these lines. You can now order your shoes, is from what the guy told me, because I was pissed. I was like, there's 2 people in your store, bro. Can you just let like 2? It was like 5 outside and 2 inside the store. They were only letting 2 people at a time go shopping. I was like, so you only let 2? I was like, I was that person, annoyed as fuck. So you only letting 2 people go in? Yeah,
I understand.
I was like,
I have natural immunity. I have the antibodies.
I just said, so what's the other way that I can shop here? I said, without having to stand here. He's like, well, you can go online and then you just can do the pickup. I said, okay, well, thanks. I said, that's what I guess I'm going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but sometimes they'll have different inventory than what the website has. And sometimes the website will have what they don't have. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always like, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was the last time. But, so that's why I said, I think we need a trip together. Like, I think we need something together. You know what I'm saying? Where it doesn't involve bringing my children, bringing my nanny with me, or my mom coming with us. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like if I don't have this, I feel like I'm going to like start just really, you got to understand, guys, while my husband is head of household is how I see it. I'm literally the
head of house.
Like, I'm the one that holds the neck up to like work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say that, but I am, and Pete says it works better this way. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it because it's my way or no way. It just, he's not as organized. We kind of like balance each other out. Where he's weak, I'm stronger, and where I'm weak, he's,
you're the yin to his yang.
Yeah, exactly. So, I just kind of thought to myself, if we don't do this at some point where we're by ourselves, even if it's just like going to Galveston.
I need to do it quarterly.
I told him I'd like to do that monthly. Want to know why? Because I managed to take pictures for my content while we were not bothered. So I feel like I will go and maybe we'll drive out the night before, like how we did. And then I'll get the Airbnb for 2 days, even though we'll leave the next day, right? But I'll have that whole day to do whatever content in this house that we rent around there, whatever sceneries are around the city, right? And then we drive home that evening. That's what we did. We got home at 7 p.m. on Friday. And I just felt like, well, I mean, granted, Luis had to come in earlier because my mom was taking the night shift. But I kind of felt like, you know, had we been working, she kind of leaves at 6 p.m. anyway. So what's an extra hour that she's here, you know, to babysit? So I just told him, I said, either we do this on a monthly basis where we just bounce for one day on a Thursday, we come back Friday, right? Or Friday, we come back Saturday, whatever it is, you know. But when my mom takes the night shifts, for me, it's always easier for me to do during the week just because Saturdays she's got to be there so early. So I don't like to do that to her, you know, and I'm okay. I don't like really using weekends. I've said this before. I really like to do the weekends for my kids because I can give attention from start to end and Sunday from start to end. Does that make sense? So
plus during the week you can do stuff with less people around. Like if you're out of town.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to go to Magnolia on Thursday. Because I thought it's the first day. There'll probably be no one there. It'll be great. But it was still pretty damn busy for Friday, like early. I was like, oh, I guess nobody works. Either that or there's so many people that came into town for it.
I feel like everybody has a hybrid schedule now. Everybody has a hybrid schedule and people don't work or work half Fridays. So they're just, you know, Friday's almost like just everyone's having a 3-day weekend these days.
Yeah. And I just felt like we got connected again. We hung out. We watched the last season of Luis Miguel, right? Like his season 3, because I love Luis Miguel. So we watched it, like I ended it, and I just we were like analyzing his life. We're like, damn, he had a fucked up, you know, we were like just sitting there talking. We had wine, you know what I'm saying? And it was just nice. We woke up, had coffee together. We brought our coffee pot.
It's the simple stuff.
Simple. And we had coffee there, because we brought our little Bialetti and we made coffee there. So
dude, I was looking for the name of that and I couldn't remember what it was.
Man,
Tell
Bialetti.
Bialetti.
It's the bomb. If you don't have a Bialetti, guys, get you one.
I was trying to explain this because it was so cool the way he explained it to me, and I'm like, I can't remember the name to save my life.
Yeah.
Do you know how to spell that?
It's BIA, I think LL or 1L.
I got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was nice, and it was just nice to regroup. We drove back home. We stopped at Buc-ee's, right? And it was like, oh, on the way there, it was funny. He's like, do you need to stop at Buc-ee's? I'm like, not really, because I was just ready to get to Waco, right? And so I was like, not really. And he was like, well, we don't have no kids. We can stop without having to think like, okay, get baby number 1 out, baby number 2's out. All right, who's going first? Okay, Pete, so you gonna pump gas? Great. If Luisa came, it's like, all right, Luisa, so you got Penny, I get the baby. You know, it's a whole like strategy, like who's doing what. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you don't want to stop. We stopped. I brought Penny back some shit. I brought back Sunny back some shit. I got me a water. You know, it's like I filled up my hydro flask with ice, and you know, it was like, oh, that was an easy get off and get back in the car. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, we didn't know how to act. We were acting like little teenagers, like this is fun, you know, like it was crazy. And I just told him, I said, I'm glad we did this, even though it was supposed to be for 2 days. We were supposed to be gone Thursday, Friday, come back Saturday.
That's right? What I thought. I hit up Marisol, we're talking about something, and she was like, oh yeah, no, we're home already. I was like, why?
Yeah. It was supposed to be 2 days. I just still feel Sunny's too little. I know.
She doesn't know what's going on.
I know. I still feel like she misses me.
No, you miss her.
No, I think it's, I feel that because I feel when I come back, she's just like more needy. And I've noticed that when we went on another trip where it was just me and Pete and we came back, where was it? The Friday night when we went to the fights. Oh yeah. That was the first time I've left her we left the day of, got to the fights, literally walked into the fights, and then we left literally the next morning and drove back home. You know what I'm saying? So it was like in and out. And I just noticed like different. And my mom tells me all the time, she's like, she's like, she wants to be all up in my armpit. She's like, so that's what makes, she's like, well, maybe it's my mom telling me that she feels like Sunny misses me because she's all up in her armpit. And she's like, she's looking for the boob. She's like, because that's her comfort, you know? And she's like, and I just like let her lay on me. And my mom sleeps with her on her. I'm like, can you not do that? Can you put her in the bassinet? She's like, I feel so bad for her. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, I feel bad because I can tell she misses you. And she's like, so I feel like if I hold her, she probably won't miss you. And I was like, all right. So
thanks, Mom.
That's where I get the guilt feeling. Then I guess my mom still has it.
She's doing it.
Look how old she is. You know what I'm saying?
She's like doing it through your kids.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not ready yet to be gone that long. I say 6 months for me because I feel like she'll be way more like on a routine, and I really want to not breastfeed after 6 months. So that's.
Oh, we finally came to that conclusion.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna stop. It's gonna be really hard. We're gonna start the road again, and if you don't travel for work, then you might not get this. But if you do travel for work, even women who go back to work, this is probably, so maybe let me take that back. If you're breastfeeding, it's work. You got to go find a corner because not everybody caters to it. They don't have like a nursing room. Not every airport has a nursing room. So
that's weird.
Yeah. So now I'm in a corner of the airport with like this blanket over my shoulder and I'm pumping like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm got the machine plugged in somewhere. And I'm just being lazy and not following up to see why I still haven't gotten approved with my insurance for the other pump I told you got. If I get that approved, because I'm not paying $500 for that, because I'm not having any more children. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to pay $500 for this pump. And then I'm, out of pocket. So I just need to jump on my insurance to really get on it and get that shit approved so that I can get this pump. If I get that pump, to be honest with you, Rob, I might go past the 6 months because then life's easier. I don't have to sit like this and wait for my breast to finish and then I got to go versus having it in my bra and I'm going. That'll make life easier. That's what's it's a second job. Like you don't understand. Like it's really hard to breastfeed. It's like another job and you have to be prepared for it because sometimes if I'm here, Luisa will say, hey, have you pumped him? I'm like, no. She's like, you want to sit down and breastfeed her then? She's like, because you don't want to know why? Because it's easier after that. She's out. She's good. And she's, you know what I'm saying? So it comforts her. It's also comfort in addition to feeding. So I'll sit there and I'm just like, oh my God, I really got to go. It would have been easier for me just to pump, right? Because I just need 15 minutes and I'm out of here because, So it's a job. I was pumping out of town, guys. And then I'm like, so check this out. This is how crazy it is. So now so let me go back to Magnolia I'll take you through my day, guys, if y'all care to listen. I did a vlog. I just haven't created it. So it'll be created. I think I don't have enough space. So the update on iMovie on my phone is not wanting to update. So I need to remove some stuff. But anyway, so, we had a good time. I went out there. I got these cute little rings from that place. And then it was so crazy because I love jewelry. And then we're driving and I'm sitting in the driver's seat. And I look at my hand on the steering wheel, right? And I'm like, oh, shit. Everything on this arm is female owned. Badass. This bracelet is by a female-owned store, right? The Traveling Gypsy. And this one her name's Two Birds. And those are her bracelets. And then this was from a female that I found there at Magnolia who sells these little rings. It's called Go_rings. And they were making little necklaces and bracelets on the spot for you. Check this out, though. I might be bringing this to my website. Not wholesale them, but me design my own because this other little girl that was there that works for Magnolia, it looks like. She was like an employee there. She was like, I just graduated high school. I took welding. I love jewelry, blah, 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 blah. So she's asking this vendor all these questions, right? And she's just standing there looking at everything. And she's like, so the girl's like, so what do you weld? Because I guess she makes her stuff too. And she's like, well, I'm still considered amateur. And she's like, explaining, she was like, where do you get your material from? And here was for me, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
what's the source? Okay,
I'm about to just act like I'm looking at every ring now because I need to get that source. She gets her stuff from Mexico.
Ama, when are you going to Mexico?
Bro, if I showed you my text messages between us, I'd like take a picture of these. I said, I need to find where she gets this material, but she makes these.
So she just gets the raw material.
She gets the raw material because they had the whole roll of the chain, right? And then whatever you wanted. So I want this is this, boom, boom, boom. She made it there. You know what I'm saying? So she put the clip on. She didn't make the actual chain part of it. She's just adding the clasp, whatever. Like if you wanted to have something else attached to it, she'll attach it for you there. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't doing the welding part there. It was just more of the clipping and putting together there, you know? But it's the experience. You know how we humans are so weird. We think, yeah, I got this made on the spot, you know, but you really didn't. It's just a clasp that she added, but it feels like you got it done on the spot, right? But really cute stuff. And she made, because these, don't you remember these from going to Mexico and getting these done? They sell bracelets like this.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Ma, it's the wiring at the bottom that they roll like this. I told my mom, I was like, Ma, they sell those at the like mercado right there, you know what I'm saying? Well, you buy it and it's like that. I'm like, so I need to find that source. I was like, because I need to start selling. I love jewelry. My problem is I like to take a bath with my jewelry. I like to work out with my jewelry. So the jewelry that I have, my vendor, their material is good, but it's not even like that. It's not the kind that's like silver underneath and where it's like just dipped in gold. It's plated in gold, but it's still like it's sterling silver. So eventually when the color comes off, it'll be silver. And it's not like a waste of a piece of jewelry, you know? I haven't found a vendor like that yet. And usually those vendors where I have found one, which she was a straight jeweler though. She was in McAllen, Texas. It's a minimum of $4,000.
Oh, damn.
So it's like a risk at that point.
It's a big investment.
It's a big investment. So at that point, it's like, okay, I have to find, and on top of that, I don't think I'm getting a variety for $4,000. It's just the jewelry is good quality. It's like I said, it's silver. And you know, right now, silver and gold is pretty high right now. So it was like, yeah, I'll come back to that option whenever I'm somewhere else, like making more money, because I can't do that yet. But I want to offer that on her apparel. I want to be able to have like cute jewelry, but I want it to be like, there can be custom jewelry and then there can be costume jewelry and then there can be like legit nice jewelry that, you know, is, and I don't want it to be like this, like cheapy. So anyway, so I'm going to start sourcing for that, because I'm going to take it. If I'm going to have to take a trip to Mexico, then I will do that. It's just right here at the border, so I'm not going anywhere far. But I would like to find that, you know what I'm saying, source, so that I can provide that. Because I love. Then I don't have to buy nobody's jewelry. I'll just start making my own shit and wearing my own shit. That'd be great, you know. I mean, hell. So I mean, that's the goal. And but I thought it was a really cool. As I'm driving, looking at the steering wheel, I just thought it was like really cool, because I was like, I'm all about supporting women. I really thought it was cool that everything I'm wearing is, you know, it's from a female store, you know? And then these little necklaces here that I got too, I got each one of my girls' initials, right? Those were also from this little brand that was there. She was so sweet, the girl that sold these there. And she's making them there. They're made out of clay, these little pendant type things. And she tells you her little story, which, guys, if there's a story behind your business, trust me, you'll get suckers like me.
Yeah.
Who will buy, you know?
Well, that's not just you, dude. It's very common. Like in marketing, if you can get somebody, like the phrase is like hook, story, offer. So if you can hook them with a good story and have a good offer, like they're more than likely going to become a customer.
That was me, because, and then she made cute little like bird houses made out of wood. They're just unique looking. And it's little stuff that she made. It was just a really cute store. And that one was called 22/7, I think, or something like that. I'll tag, I follow all those people now, so I'll post them maybe on the Her Lounge podcast on the story, be like, these are the two people that I was telling you guys about.
Is there anything that you wear or utilize frequently that's made of plastic, like a good plastic? I know it's a random question, but I'm going somewhere with it. Nothing? I'm looking at you, I'm like, is there, like, I'm thinking in my head, like, is there anything wearable that could be plastic? Is there anything, like, accessory-wise that might even, like, hold your accessories that's plastic or organize your accessories that's plastic. The reason I ask is, as you keep thinking about
Recycled?
this, we'll have a good friend of mine that I got together with. I got together with two old friends this weekend. They both also have babies, so they can never get away.
Yeah.
So we finally got away, got some early coffee, or got some, coffee early at Catalina Cafe. You ever been there in Washington? I love
Yeah.
that place. It was really cool. So on Saturdays, they have this spontaneous car show that shows up. So, I mean, we're talking like, really, really expensive cars to like rare, like race cars and all kinds of shit showed up. So we went there, walked around for like 2 hours, a couple blocks on Washington. And anyway, we're chatting, catching up. I had no idea where one of my really good friends worked or what he did. And he works in like the plastics industry. And the company he works for produces and helps like basically come up with molds, So if you're a business that has a patent or an idea or whatever, you'd have it like CNC'd and, drawn up on CAD. And then they give you, whatever material you're going to use, whatever type of plastic, you'll get the mold. And then, the process goes from there. So he's like, yeah, man, like if you ever have an idea, because he knows I'm always thinking about stuff, and whether it's like candle related or anything else, like think of something that you might be able to use a mold for, and like we can walk through that process a lot faster than if you were just a Joe Schmo that didn't know anybody. If you ever watch Shark Tank, it's like, this little girl that came up with the spoon prototype, but like she had to get the mold for the spoon and had to ship it off overseas and then wait like 6 months and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So if you ever have an idea like that, keep it in mind, write it down.
It's funny. You know what I was thinking last night when I was when I breastfeed laying down, right? I was like, man, if only there was a water bottle that laid flat like this and the straw was kind of in the middle. So when you're laying down, you can grab your water bottle and sip it versus like, you can't tilt this over. You're laying down. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult. You're like, you see what I'm saying?
I do kind of see what you're saying now.
Like this, and then up right here, you can put little snacks in there, because you get hungry when you breastfeed. So like, it's like big enough just for maybe like some almonds or like grapes or strawberries, whatever your thing is right here. And then your straw goes here so that you can like lay down and be able to eat and drink while you're feeding your baby. Right? I don't know why I thought that the other day, but I was like, that'd be really convenient right now for me, because
that's a message again, guys.
yeah, I know. I can't ever do anything like without something. But anyway,
You're the nucleus.
right. So I thought that would be a cool idea. But anyway, I need to think about something. Let me
Yeah, and the reason I say that is because like, if you could come up with a good idea, like it could be the smallest thing, but if it's just something that gets used, like let's just say it's like a screw of sort. Just an example, like this guy comes out with this like patented screw head that's used for like this specific thing. This guy could be a multimillionaire, which he gave me this kind of example. I forgot what it was. And all he does is just like sit back and collect checks now that this product is like universally used for XYZ process. And he's like, he's like buying a home in Tampa, on the beach, and he's just like, living his best life.
I just be thinking that all the time. Like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
I think of that all the time.
I'm getting mad when I see something. I'm like, genius.
Yeah, I'm like, how dumb am I that I'm like, oh, genius.
Yeah, I know.
All the time. Never am I the genius that comes up with the idea. I'm just like, oh yeah, I almost thought of that, or I could have thought of that.
Yeah. It's crazy because, and guys, that's what I mean by like, you have to find things that inspire you and that motivate you, and you have to find whatever it is, whatever your muse is, you have to find it yourself, right? For me, it's other businesses that I see. Like, that's why I say, like, I don't ever feel like, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like, oh man, she's doing that, like, and and I don't even call it jealousy, and maybe more admiration. I don't really know what it is. So I guess it would be more admiration. You're just like, damn, why didn't I think of that? She's, you should, instead of really like being a hater, it's always like you should pay attention to what they're doing, because you should probably pick up on those tips so that you can transfer them over to whatever it is you're wanting to create or you already are doing. Totally. You know what I'm saying?
My first reaction when I hear somebody's doing really well with something, especially if it's new or it like started from ground up and it's popping, I'm like, good for them. And then I go into, how did they get there?
Exactly. That's me 100%. Like when someone tells me a story like, man, so I know something, I'm like, what? Really? I'm like, damn, that's badass. I'm like, geez, why didn't I think of that? And I'll be like, do they have an Instagram? And I'll like instantly go and check the Instagram, and I'm just like on there, and I'll that was how I started for branding. I would look at other influencers' accounts to see like how they did that. A lot of influencers have an aesthetic look to where maybe all their pictures have this pink tint to it.
Sure.
Or they have like this older, like brownish looking tint to them, or all their pictures are really bright, right? And to be honest with you, that's really what I was trying to do on my personal account, right? Was have an aesthetic look. Instead, I had to just go to, these are going to be my colors for my account. And here's why. I don't live a perfect life. So if I give you perfect pictures all the time, it's like, okay, then you're just as unreal as everybody else that you're sitting here following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just felt like I needed to have a combination of professional pictures, which are the ones that Ilse takes for me. And then I needed a combination of real pictures that I took with my own personal phone or my own personal camera, you know what I'm saying, to post. Because like, I'm not perfect and I don't live a perfect life.
But branding in general, though, that word and that phrase has always like fascinated me for multiple reasons. And one of it is just that if you think about it, like what is brand? Like brand is just like the population or a group of persons' faith in this particular entity. Why? Mm-hmm. Why do we like Nike? Mm-hmm. Why do we like Gucci? What exactly did they do that elicits a response that I'm going to pay a premium price for this brand? Mm-hmm. What is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just did such a good job of branding.
Yeah, but it's such a weirve, elusive term.
Yeah,
you know?
It is, because I feel that if you look at my social media, right, it's me. It's who I am. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm professional, which are my professional pictures, and then sometimes I'm just not going to invest in professional. I'm going to do it myself. Which I'm very DIY. So it's kind of like I feel like what I was trying to go for originally, right, was something that was not really me, even though I was looking at other influencers who were doing that and who had an aesthetic look, who had a pattern, who had this and that. And when I felt like I did that, I felt like it wasn't me. When my pictures were starting to be too perfect, like I was having too many professional pictures on my personal account, I was like, yeah, this is starting to look way too good. Like, this is not how I live. Like, you know what I'm saying? These were like taken and for a purpose, Now, my HERR apparel is totally, I love the way it looks because those all look professional. Yeah. And I love now that I feel needs to stay that way. But, going back to the branding, Rob, Joanne Gaines and just from picking her vendors to what is going to be sold as far as food is concerned on their, like on the silos, you can tell it's all her vibe and it's all her style. And it's like things that they like. And eventually that's what I would like to do. And I told Pete that our cutoff is 50 years old.
To
have it all figured out.
Okay.
I'm done. If after 50 we don't have it figured out, we're pretty effed. Like,
no, you're not.
You're done. You're done.
You're not.
Yes, because then what is after 50?
Well, it depends what in what avenue though.
So for me, it's like all the things that I have on my vision board, I want them completed by 50.
I told him last week when we recorded before we actually went to Waco. I was like, we had two. I mean, the podcast, the RPT and the Chingo Chats have just gotten progressively better and better as he's kind of like, I don't know, working through his own thing in his head with touring and comedy and politics and social media and being all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And they're getting better and better, ironically, despite all that. But I was like, Rogan started his podcast 10 years ago. Like, he was your age when he started JRE. Yeah. He's like, don't tell me that.
I know.
Really?
You told me.
Yeah. And he was like, that really struck a chord because it's true. Like, or Rodney Dangerfield. He was like putting up windows when he was like 55 or something like that. And then he became Rodney Dangerfield. So I guess it just depends. Obviously, that's entertainment, whereas it might be different avenues where you're like 50 is a cutoff for, let's just say 50 is a cutoff for creating the HERR version of Nike maybe, or something else. But there's other avenues that...
I just want my brands at 50 to be running so that my daughters can be happy to take it over versus like, well, I just really don't...
That's 10 years, right? You're 40 exactly? You just turned 40? So what's Penny going to be?
No, she'll only be like, what? 13.
Yeah, she'll be 13.
Yeah. So at 13, I'd like for her to feel like, oh, I like wearing my mom's stuff. Like my mom's athletic wear is like dope. Like I like wearing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I see Mickey wearing my hoodies, I love watching her wear them to school. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a little 13-year-old who I think my style is also very is different, like, because I still like a lot of the urban look, you know what I'm saying? And I like a lot of like still more of the hip hop, big earrings, like, you know, I have that in me. And so, you know, I have a mix of both, I feel. And I think she kind of sees that. And so she knows like, oh, because one time she's like, did you know that blah, blah, blah's in style? She goes, there's this necklace that I have. It's got an M. And I guess they're in style now. And she's like, hey, can I borrow your necklace that has the M? And it's this look. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Let me see where. I was like, it's over there. Because I'll go through phases where I'll like something so much and I'll wear them all the time. Like, you're going to see me wear these for a hot minute and then I'm over it. I'll find something new. And then it's like, okay, what's my next thing that I'm into? You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because I had bought that a long time ago. I just like liked it. I like a bunch of chains, and I know like in my mind how I like the chains to hang. So I'll go look for these chains, and I'll keep looking until I find these chains that I like, and then I put them together, and then I'll wear them for a hot minute, and then I'm over it, right? Like my nameplate that's in that says Marisol, that it's in silver. All right, guys, I get asked about that necklace all the time. You know, I bought that when Sex and the City was popular, when Carrie was first wearing it. And the reason I bought it in silver was because that's what I was into at the time. You know what I'm saying?
You were a Sex and the City girl?
I loved it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Big was like the ultimate man.
Dude, I had an employee at my cryo place that loved, I mean, Sex and the City was her like spirit animal, like that show itself. She ended up moving to California and becoming a model. She's like living that life right now.
Oh, wow. I just liked how they were just women. And then I loved that Samantha was just having sex with random people.
She was my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, because, and I just feel like I like that they made it seem like there's nothing wrong with, if you want to sleep like with different, like, I'm not saying go be a hoe, you know what I'm saying? But it's like,
go ahead, ladies.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like, I feel like if you're two adults and you just want to like have sex with each other, I don't see like what the problem is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why is it only that females get this like stigma of being a hoe, or, you know, just this label, versus a guy gets no label? And so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go sleep around, but I just feel like if you meet someone and y'all are vibing just for that minute and it just happened and y'all never speak again, who gives a fuck? It was just for that minute.
It's weird because I liked all those. I mean, with the exception of Sarah Jessica Parker, I really don't care for her.
I loved her.
Or her character. But the other girls, like, I liked them all for different reasons, and they were pretty different, like as characters.
Yeah.
Who was like the proper one that was like with the dark haired one?
That was Charlotte.
Charlotte. Something about Charlotte, man.
Yeah, she was so sweet.
That little
though.
good old girl. You know, you just want to like make not so good.
Yeah, it's Charlotte. The lawyer, I forget what her name was.
She's good too.
She was good too. Yeah, I liked
And Samantha was the thought, right?
Yeah. And I just like how she had like young guys, and she was boning that one guy for a hot minute. That was her little boyfriend. You know, I just felt like those women are a variety of different women. Now, the only thing that I didn't like about it was that they were all like professional, right? That's why Working Moms,
love it.
I love that show because they're still all like, they show you the realtor who's hurting, and, you know what I'm saying, hasn't really figured it out. Then she figures it out, gets her shit together. And it's kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of moms out there who probably went through postpartum, you know, just didn't have like motivation. They needed someone else to step in and be the dominant mother, or, you know, the dominant parent, whatever it is, until she figured it out and got out of this rut or feeling. I think they're a little bit more realistic, right?
Who are you in the cast? Who do you resonate with as a character? Ladies, if you haven't seen the show by now, you got to watch Working Moms.
Man, I think I'm a mix between the main character and her best therapist.
Friend?
Anne. I think I'm a mix between those two, because see how she's not very like about her kids. I think that was me before children, right? Or it was like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? These kids, you know, like, who has kids? Why do you have kids? You know, like, what a nuisance. Like, it just the thought of kids was just like,
At the beginning of the podcast, we were talking about like, I need these getaways, or I'm gonna start like resenting this process of being a parent, right? That like Anne kind of like went away. She became like a little goth fucking character. And she's like, I need to be alone.
Yes, I need.
If you don't get alone time, that's gonna be you. If you don't get away,
yeah, exactly. And that's going back to that. It's so glad I'm glad the way you just brought it all back around, because I told Pete, I was like, I told him, I said, we have to what do you call it, do this, whether it be on a monthly basis. I don't know what we're gonna do. I said, but we need to figure this out. I was like, even if it's like I said, going to Galveston and getting a room over there for a day and then coming back. I mean, I know it's not even far, but it has to happen. I said, because I feel better today. I mean, I came back and I was happy to see my children. I was like ready, like, let's do it. And it was just one day, Rob, one day. That's all it was. And then my mom texts me, of course, she's like, are you back in town? I'm like, no, it's 11. Like, what time was I going to leave Waco? 6?
She texts you the next morning at 11.
At 11.
Back?
Are you back? I'm like, no. And she's like, why? I'm like, because I came out here for a reason. Like my mom does not get this like recharge thing, right?
How many of our parents do? I don't think they get it.
I think our generation of parents don't understand that. It's like, you do it and that's just it. Like there is no thing like, oh, I need time for myself. It's like you were just a mom and you did your mom thing, and you were a wife, and if you worked, then you worked, and you didn't complain. You
vas
just
a descansar cuando te mueras.
Yeah,
kind of
basically. And so my mom doesn't get this recharging thing, right? Like, I think she feels like this is really silly, almost like postpartum. She also doesn't, like, she knows that
that generation didn't apply, like, self-care didn't apply to them.
Right, exactly. So like, while she knows it exists, she also feels like it's kind of like, get it together, girl. Like,
it's just frivolous.
It's just, like, get your shit together and figure it out. We are all moms around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have to put up with this. So get over it.
Which, to a degree, you and I would probably say that about people that complain too much about stuff. So I guess we get it. I get it.
Yeah, I get where she's coming from. Like, for me, the other day, it's funny because when I took Sunny to go to the doctor, it said on there, do you think about death? And I'm like, oh, I do. Do you think about... Sorry, I haven't...
Holy shit, was that your stomach?
Yeah, I know. I haven't had breakfast, and that was it. But this workout this morning, I'll tell you about my fucking workout, too.
On Friday's episode.
Oh, man. That workout, I was like feeling... Like, I feel like heavy. Like, I just feel heavy. I was explaining this to Sean. I was like...
Hey, save that for the premium episode.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, it was funny because I was what was I just talking about? We're talking about postpartum. Oh yeah, I was filling out the form at the pediatrician's office because they ask you right now, like, if you're to make sure you're not going through postpartum.
Oh, okay.
So you have to fill out a form before, like, they get you.
And
that's
one of the questions you think about death.
Yeah, like, do you ever think about dying or death or blah blah blah? And
Can you put in every day? Because I would write in every day.
Well, it said I was on there sometimes, frequently, like, not always, never, right? Something like that. And I just put, sometimes I do. And then, do you worry for no reason? And I put, like,
every day.
Sometimes I do. I'm like, I do. Like, Pete leaves and I'm just like, oh my God. Hopefully he's not texting while he's driving. Hopefully he's paying attention and somebody just doesn't come behind him. And, because you hear so many crazy things right now. I don't think I was this worried ever before. I'm fucking worried, like, now, especially after the chef that we know just got shot for staring at someone while they were having a fucking domestic argument over there. Like, you just come up to somebody and shoot them, bro? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I understand.
So, like, I think about those things.
We also pay attention to more stuff right now. Like, as us three as a whole. Yeah. Like, we're just, like, constantly like, what's going on here, there, and the other place.
I know, because it's crazy. And then to top it off, I had a dream that my mom said, sit down, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? She's like, I didn't know how to tell you this, but you're going to die. And I was like, what? And I'm just like looking at my girls. They're so little. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Who's going to take care of them? Like, oh no. And
then later she's like, one day. You're going to die one day.
And then I woke up and then Pete's like, I was real quiet. He's like, what's wrong? I was like, I had a dream that my mom told me that I was going to die. And he's like, what? Who dreams that? I was like, me. That's who dreams that, Pete. Me. But Magnolia was a recharge for me. I felt great going in there.
What a segue from death to like, man, that trip was great.
I needed it. I'm glad. Like, I feel like my husband and I have a connection again, like what we've always had, you know? I know it sounds corny, like y'all's relationship cannot be that great. It really is like, I can honestly say like our relationship is pretty damn great. And then when you start adding a lot of the stress that comes in between, that's when we both are stressed. So it isn't
fractures it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like one is more than the other. We're both stressed out in different ways because we handle different things in our business, you know? So we bring our stress together, and then sometimes it's like we're talking about the stress and then how we're going to figure out the stress. And you know what I'm saying? So we find ourselves talking more about that versus like us, you know what I'm saying? Like us, you know, loving each other and so forth. And so it was really good. I'm glad that we did it. And I really think that if you don't know what your recharge thing is, figure it out. Just sit there one day. And I know for a lot of us, if you're married to like more of an old school Latino, you know what I'm saying? Or even whatever, you know, I think.
Go ahead.
You just kind of have to sit there and talk like, hey, you know how like, I'm just going to use this as an example, like a guy that likes sports, right? Might go to his buddy's house and to go watch sports, right? And that's probably his way of like bouncing away from his wife and kids, right? And maybe she doesn't do as much of like the girls' night out or anything like that, right? I'm not a girls' night out thing. I'm just not.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't. It just doesn't interest me. It's great. I'd rather do the day thing, but the girls' night out
That's
thing.
how Dawn is too. She's like, fuck that. I'm not going out.
Yeah, I'm not going out.
After 6, 7 o'clock somewhere, what are we doing?
Like, let's go to want to go to the mall? Sure, let's go to the mall together. You know, it's a day thing. Little things like that, I'm for. Like, hey, do you want to go
grab lunch?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm talking
go to
about.
the Heights. You know what I'm saying? Just because you can walk up and down there and do shit. You know, just like
I'm an early morning to like 1 o'clock kind of person.
I can do till about 5. And then after 5, it's like, bye, y'all. Like, I got to go.
See, the way my mind works, because I live out there, I'm not leaving downtown.
yeah.
I hate leaving downtown, which I frequently do, leave around 5 o'clock. I'm like, this is the worst. But I know we're about to wrap up and go to the premium episode. I will say that we should have, the reason I snapped my fingers is like, oh, let's do a question of the day. We talk about a lot of different things on the podcast, so you should pose the question to the listeners that we can put it in the Facebook group, and that's where we'll expand on the question.
Yeah.
So where's your recharge place?
So what is your recharge and where
Give everyone
is it?
ideas.
Yeah, like what is your idea of
how do you reconnect?
Yes,
with
exactly.
your spouse?
How do you reconnect with your spouse?
Or yourself if you're single.
And you know what's crazy is that this month, one of the topics that Ilse sent was post a picture of you and your husband on how you guys make it work, being that y'all work together, live together, parent together, and still have to find time to reconnect. And I told him, I said, wow, what a weird topic of a picture to post, because she had no idea that I was taking this trip to Magnolia. And we were taking this trip to Magnolia as my birthday present / we need to go reconnect. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was crazy. So we took this picture outside the Airbnb of just like, and we were literally having the coffee out there. And at first I was like, this is going to be so bland and cheesy. I was like, so I don't really know how to make it natural looking. I said, but this is what we would do. You know, if the weather was like this all the time, this is the time that I'd go sit outside on my porch on my rocking chair with my coffee and just sit out there and enjoy my coffee.
Hell yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And this is the time that I do it. So for me, it was like, although this picture looks staged, and maybe it's just because I know that it was staged, that is what he and I would do like normally. So that's when I was like, okay, this is us. And it's okay that it looks staged, but I know for a fact this is something that you and I enjoy a lot. Like, we don't say, hey, want to go grab a drink? We say, hey, want to go get coffee? That's literally us all the time.
We do both. We like both a lot. But before we go, let me ask you this. What is one, and maybe this can be a second question that we pose into the Facebook group, along with like, what's your recharge place and what do you do? What is one of the, if not like the biggest, loftiest goal you have right now at 40? Like, it could be silly, super lofty, and like almost like delusional, but what is that like moon of star of goals?
I would literally like for my brand to be in probably a pop-up boutique.
I feel like you could do that next year.
I feel like I can do that pretty soon. I'm just not, because I want to dedicate myself to that after the tour is done. So, and we're going to kick off till February 27th because we already have some dates for 2022. I feel like I'm going to take the rest of November, December, January, and most of February. And that's why I keep telling, I know I sound like a broken record to the ladies, but that's when I'm about to go ham on my Patreon. And they're like, it's where I'm about to give them the exclusive, because I'm not so busy with things, and I'm not like, I'm not having to pay attention to a lot more things except for putting out more merch, finding more things that I could add on my website, like getting the water bottles ready for the athletic wear, ordering the rest of the athletic wear. You know what I'm saying? The athletic wear is really hard for me, like I said, because believe it or not, I don't like to leave out my bigger women, and those sizes are extremely difficult to find. And explaining that to the women who do listen to the podcast and follow me, I feel like if you're going to motivate someone, you got to still provide like things. And I feel like for me, cute athletic wear motivates me to go work out.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to wear, like, if I get some new leggings, like I can't wait to go to the gym. Like it'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I can't wait to go to the gym tomorrow because I'm going to wear, that's just me. But I like that. So I feel like if you look cute to the gym, you feel cute.
Oh yeah,
you work out
when you
cute,
see that chick that's like super matchy at the gym, she's got an extra pep in her step.
Yeah,
you can just
exactly.
See,
you can see
herself.
it, and maybe you're not there yet. As far as like, no, athletic wear does not make me feel. I know, but trust me, I taught Zumba for a long time. Let's see, almost 10 years, and I like trained women for 6 of the 10 years. Okay, and you have no idea how women go from borrowing their husband's t-shirts to then coming to the class in their own cute, whatever new apparel that they bought. And I would just watch them transition from maybe now they're wearing their own t-shirts. Maybe now they're getting cuter and cuter, because guess what? Their confidence went from down here to up here to up here to where you can't tell them shit. And if that's not the most rewarding thing as an instructor / personal trainer, I don't know what is. To make a woman, to give confidence to a woman is super satisfying to me. That's why I put on my part of my thing is like, we sell confidence. I want to sell. That's what I want to sell to you. I don't want to sell you my t-shirt that says, obviously the things that I put on there is to help you motivate. I like to put something on and look at it and be like, yep, that's how I feel. It's like, for example, I'm going to go back to Dana Lynn Bailey. When I would wear a Flag Nor Fell t-shirt, right? I would just, to the gym, I would feel like I'm part of Flag Nor Fell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm strong like her. Yeah. This is who I think about. So I want for my t-shirt to give that same feeling. You know what I'm saying? I want for the athletic wear, when you purchase it, it's because I am, what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. Like I want to be fit, and I wear athletic wear just to wear it.
It's comfortable. Yeah,
it's comfortable as fuck.
I feel like we're going to talk more about the philosophy of branding on the premium episode.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
You're right. Like sometimes when you wear something like that, it's the way I've heard it described. It's like a cape. It's like your superhero cape.
Yeah, it is. And for me, that's what it was. For me, it was like a lot of I had so much Flag Nor Fell stuff. Because I just really needed that, and I wore a lot of it. If you look at my old videos on YouTube of whenever I was prepping for my competition, a lot of my t-shirts say Flag Nor Fell, and it's a cult type of thing, because even when I told you I saw someone wearing their training belt and it said Flag Nor Fell on the back, it was like, dope, we're from the same.
Yeah.
And I told you whenever someone came up to Kim at HEB and said, "Oh my God, don't you love her brand?" And I was like, "Someone told you that, Kim?" It was like,
oh yeah.
For me, it was like, yes, that's what I want. I want for other women to be like, I love her stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want them to feel a part of this like female empowered community, just like DOB does for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be feeling like, shit, I don't look like her, and I don't want to look like her. Let's just get that straight. I don't want to look like her, because I know when people go to her page, they're just like, this looks like a man.
Whatever,
it's not even about that. It's not about that. It's literally her discipline and she's so driven. And I know Rob is probably a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? But again, they work together as a team. So it's kind of like, you just
Yeah.
kind of look at it like, damn. So yeah, with that being said, Black Friday, new merch dropping. And I know it's for my mamas. Don't worry, to my people who are not mamas, I'll have something out for you guys too. And again, a lot of the older stuff that was sold out right now will be on there. Like the number one chingona will be out again. These are things that people voted on. So I had put a poll, and so number one chingona made it. So did Échale Ganas made it. 100% that mujer. People want that shirt, not the color combo. They felt, I got a lot of people that say, well, I just feel it looks like Chapulín Colorado. So
That's funny.
you know, I get it. I can see where that, I never thought about it like that until they mentioned it.
That's
I
funny.
never like put the two together because that's not where my mind was. And also that was from when my creative director was on my team. He was the one that suggested that color combo. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, I like it on the yellow. I like the yellow shirt and it's a red heart. So I don't know what the red heart's going to go on, but I'm thinking that one's going to come back. But I'm thinking on a hoodie. So a lot of the stuff that's going to be coming out will be long sleeve shirts and hoodies, just because that's
It's
the
that season.
Yeah,
I love it.
So look out for that, guys, and get ready to shop on Black Friday. So you don't even have to get out your house. Just go on herappareltx.com and get your merch. So thank you guys for listening. I'll be posting on our Facebook group. And let's share on how we you stay motivated.